news.
Hey guys, we're I'll be Drammed.
Yes, we are.
Today, we're gonna have a little discussion about stuff that we get asked all the time, right?
Like how to start a collection.
How do you start a collection of bourbon?
Right.
Where do you start?
Right. So you look and we got a whole
Yeah,
bunch
we
of
got a
bottles,
bunch of
right?
stuff.
Like
So,
what? Like
so the first thing you do is you go to the liquor store.
yeah,
That's a start.
That is step
That's a
one.
good start.
That is step one.
At
But
least in
like,
North
how
Carolina.
much money do you have, right? Because bourbon is expensive.
It is.
This hobby is expensive.
Yeah.
It doesn't
However-
have to be.
You can budget this.
Yeah.
You can do a collection on a budget.
Yep.
Where do you
So-
start?
What we put together here is like a good little starter set. So this is a $200 collection. And we put a little thought into this. So what we're starting off here with is the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. This bottle is like $20 or so. 100 proof. It's a Bottled and Bond. You automatically know with the Bottled and Bond that you're getting a decent quality, but you know, you can attest to this. This Evan Williams Bottled and Bond is very good. Right? Hard to beat for the money. With this collection, what we're trying to do here is to provide some variety, right? So you got your daily drinker with
Wait,
it.
did you say variety or sobriety?
Yes.
Nothing about this channel screams sobriety.
So, so you got your daily drinker, right?
Yeah.
10-year age stater right here, right?
What's the MSRP on that?
It's about $45. We actually didn't have one in studio because we drank them all. So I had to go get a new one.
Nah.
But,
You'll have that.
yep, Russell's Reserve 10-year. If for some reason you're not a fan of Russell's, which I don't know why you would do that,
Just
you
go
could-
drink Stoli vodka with the rest of the force.
You can go with a 10 cup 10-year. That's also about it's also about $45. I don't know if we
We
probably
have a
one of
10
those
cup.
somewhere. Yeah.
It's in my tote.
I know.
But when you're trying to build a collection, you're trying to build some variety here. A 10-year age stated in the $45-ish is real nice to have. Now, there's your Brooks.
It is not in your tote.
There's your Brooks is a finished bourbon. That's hard to get in the $30 range. This is $29.99 MSRP. What you're getting is a 99 proof, and I think it's port finish.
It is port finish.
Port finish. You're not going to find that very often.
You're not going to find a finished bourbon for 30.
Yeah, so if you're not familiar with a finish, what they're doing is they're aging it in a new charred oak barrel, like normal, for it to be a regular bourbon. And then they're putting in a secondary barrel, which has previously had something else. In this particular case, this is a port wine. They're putting it in that for undisclosed amount of time. We don't know exactly, but usually it's in the range of a few months.
Yeah,
So
3 to 6.
what's the difference in like the port finish here versus the Ezra Brooks like 99 or Ezra Brooks like Distiller's Collection?
So the Ezra Brooks 99 versus the Ezra Brooks port finish is probably very similar, but the secondary finishing, and then as far as the rest of the Ezra Brooks collection, the rest of the Ezra Brooks collection, I know they have a lot of different ones. You know, they
Yeah.
have the cast strength, the Distiller's collection. Usually those are picks.
The
They're-
Distiller's Collections are. The
they're-
cast drinks are not.
Not
Well,
always.
they have the cast
Right.
strength that is regular, and then they have the cast strength picks. So in those situations, both of those would be a single barrel, whereas this would be a blend. Usually you pay a little bit more for it to be a pick, because someone is actually saying, out of these, 3 to 6 barrels or whatever that we're looking at here, this is my favorite. I like it. It's better than the rest. So you're paying a little more for that. I wanted to have a finish in here because, that's definitely a different profile. It's something a little different. We're starting a new collection here for somebody. You want something that's definitely a little different. We got a good age statement. We got a bottled and bond. Now we got to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would like to step up to a single barrel product.
Okay.
Four Roses is probably going to be a sweeter profile than anything else here. And they actually specify what their yeast strain is and what their mash bill is. They're pretty unique in how they do that. Most companies don't.
But on their single barrels, up until recently, if you just go buy an off-the-shelf single barrel, they've never told you is it an OESK, OESB, what the yeast strain is. They're gonna start printing it on all the single barrel labels.
Which not just the barrel strength.
They used to only show it on the barrel strength labels.
Hold up. Every single barrel coming
It'll be
out,
on
they're
the
going
back
to
label.
tell you.
They're not going to do the little fancy side. Which I know we have on here,
No.
But
But-
on the back, it'll say OESK, whatever. It's not going to give you the floor and the tier and all that BS.
It doesn't matter.
But it'll tell you the
Because,
strain.
all right, so 10 strains of Four Roses single barrel,
Yep.
right? But everybody has their favorite.
Yep.
Right.
So now
Yeah.
you can go find it in a regular $50 bottle.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be barrel strength anymore.
That's a game changer.
That is. And
Because what are these single barrels? What's the proof?
I like-
$50 and
and they're about 100
100
proof. I
proof.
think they're 100 proof exactly.
Yep.
So, and
So,
Also-
that'll be...
this
That'll-
bottle has great shelf appeal.
Right.
Like,
But that's
this
a whole different...
clearly looks
That-
nicer than the other
That
guys.
pushes a whole different video,
It does.
right? So
But
now we
if-
can blind a recipe.
But here's
to
here's
see
fun
if the
part.
proof
Look,
makes a difference.
Let me see the bottle a second. So this still gives you everything else that the barrel strength gives you, other than the recipe currently.
So
So it's going to give you the warehouse. It'll give you the barrel number. It gives you everything
Yep.
except the recipe, and they're going to start putting the recipe on the back.
So that's pretty cool.
because what's the? I mean, the
Now,
barrel
you can
strengths are
figure
different.
out the recipe by their notes on the back currently, if you have the little fancy book. Like,
Yeah, but you can look that up online.
Yeah.
okay, well, there it is. Nope, just kidding.
Yeah, they just tell the notes. They don't.
It's not as detailed as the back.
Right.
Apricot and pear anywhere? Nope. Okay. Well, fuck me.
I'll pass.
Put that back down there.
But the moral of the story is a single barrel bourbon can provide something different than a standard off the shelf offering. Every single barrel is very different.
So I haven't had a whole lot of the Four Roses single barrel off the shelf. I've had the recipes of the barrel strength. How consistent are these?
They're not.
Not
There's 10
actually.
recipes.
Not actually. Yeah. Kyle's exactly correct.
So
Um,
these single barrels provide the exact same as the barrel strength single barrels, but
At 100
they're all
proof.
100 proof.
Yes.
Right.
So we're assuming that someone's trying to get into bourbon here. We're not trying to blow their palate out. All right. So
Also, let's point out, this is also not just for the person getting into bourbon. Bourbon's for sharing.
it is.
So this gives you 5 options for, even if you're starting out with bourbon, but you've got a buddy that drinks bourbon
Yeah.
already, this gives you something to share. Because if they come over and they're like, I like higher proof, let me go with the Old Forester. Yeah,
You're
I
leading
like,
directly into.
right, I like finish, let me go with Ezra Brooks.
Yeah.
You're leading directly into
I like age. Here's my Russells.
the Old
Right.
Forester. The Whiskey Roast series as a whole already is great. My personal favorite is the 1920. A lot of people like the 1910. Yeah, the blend. Yes,
I like the
blend.
15.
Yes,
15 is
So,
fine.
The 1920. It's not. It's not technically barrel proof. It's 115 proof. But
So
it
I think it's a
kinda
combination of
it's-
barrel proof, foolproof, right?
It is.
Like,
It's
kind of like
in that
just sitting
it's-
in there.
but it's in that realm,
Right.
It doesn't meet the technical definition of being barrel proof, but what you are getting is Old Forester product at a higher proof. They don't age state it, but this is absolutely delicious. This is always good.
Yeah.
Always good.
What's the price point?
About $60.
So it's the most expensive bottle
It is.
in your initial buy.
But I will say it's head and shoulders, in my opinion, above the rest of these. It's not. It's
Even the Russells.
even the Russells. It's
Oh no chokeouts, no chokeouts.
No. Old Forester 1920 is
It
it
is.
is great.
Fantastic.
It is really good. The idea
I mean,
here is
honestly,
to provide
these
some
two
variety.
bottles are literally kind of what we cut our teeth on, right?
Yeah,
like-
I mean, the Bottle and Bond here,
That bottle.
it is one of the best.
It shouldn't be as good as
values.
it is.
This is supposed to be your daily
Actually,
drink.
the only one I think you're missing out of this $200 budget, and I understand why you put together this, is the Wild Turkey 101.
right.
Budget wise, like just push out there. This is a bottle you need to start with. Well, one more, Cooper's Craft, the 100 proof Cooper's Craft. Those are the only two I can think of. And again, we're not going to cut under $200 with these, but
The Cooper's Craft
those
is
are
about
starters.
$30,
Yeah,
right?
Those are definitely starters.
It's about $30. You could take the Ezra Brooks out of this lineup.
Yep.
But the Cooper's
Put the
Craft
Coopers
in.
in.
The Ezra Brooks is just there because
it is
it's finished.
technically
Right.
not a finished bourbon,
Yep.
but Cooper's Craft, they do something special with the barrels. They carve them so that they get some extra surface area. So it is kind of like a finish.
You mean they craft them?
Yes, they do craft them. So
Cooperly?
yes. So
Coopers.
you could definitely
Craft.
you could sub that in if you were like, I don't really like that winey taste that's added to the Ezra Brooks. The idea is to create a variety here.
Yeah.
Right? Like this is a good starting point. All right. So this is what you can get for
Oh.
$200.
Yeah, all right, but I have a question.
All right.
Let's just say I go out and pick up these 5 bottles for my $200 collection,
Okay.
but I don't know, I have $150, $200 more to spend. What else can I add to my cabinet?
Well,
Strippers.
and cocaine. But
Not for
Not
$200.
cocaine.
yeah, that's
Can't
true.
have both.
Yeah. You
I
gotta
mean,
pick and
it'll be
choose.
cocaine, but it'll be cut.
Yeah. You got to pick and choose.
Talcum
But
powder.
Right.
we did actually put together another list that's adding to the 200 list and
Okay.
saying you got $400,
You
right?
got $400.
All right.
What are we going to do?
The first one I'm going to add is an absolute banger. You know about this one.
Are you talking about proof and a rye?
Tell me about this one. You know about this one.
So these are slept on by a lot of people. And the problem with these bottles is that they are everywhere.
Now,
Yeah.
You can find them everywhere. And for $60-ish, I mean, this is 133.9 proof.
Yeah.
This
Alright.
particular
Hey.
one is a store pick that I picked up, but this is a $68 bottle out of Georgia that I picked up.
Yeah.
That was a store pick.
Those are so good.
They're
I mean,
so good.
they
They're
are so good.
flavorful.
I mean, these.
And from a Jack Daniels perspective, they're not super banana forward.
nope.
Yeah. These. They teeter on being like LE type bottles. They are like so good.
What I would recommend to get the most flavor out of these is anything over 127 proof.
Yeah. So this is not
You
going to
look
be
for the 138 plus,
36 plus.
it's not going to be for
138
your
plus, like I
beginner.
but
The thing is, though, none of them that I've had that are mid to upper 130s drink at that proof.
Yeah.
hold on. Here's an experiment we need to do. And I know we typically drink everything neat. We should ice this
Yeah.
just to see
With
how
a
it
cube.
evolves.
Yeah.
You know what we need to do with it?
Decant it.
No, we need to put it in a mixed drink. And
Okay.
Put it in the
All right.
Ninja slushy machine and get hammered at the pool. That's what
I
we need
mean,
to
it's
do.
not the worst idea.
No.
But
So
But
I'm,
to-
I'm going to throw out
Alright,
Jay,
bro.
come
Easy
on.
Jay.
Um,
I'm going to throw out a little bit of an inflammatory statement that
oh no.
people may not like. That is head and shoulders from a rye standpoint better than Thomas H. Handy.
Okay.
Dude,
I hadn't had the
that-
Sazerac 17.
that's a hefty statement.
But-
However, you and I tried the handy at the same time.
We didn't have to pay extra either.
Yeah.
It was
Skinny.
anyways. I agree.
Yeah.
From a rye standpoint.
Now, I think
So,
a lot of it
this
is
beats
because that comes out of barrel proof.
Yeah. And I don't know their mash bill, but I would be willing to bet that is a
51.
like a it'll
this
barely
is not
big
your
old-
typical Jack statement.
No.
No.
That is
You ready for another unpopular statement?
What's that?
I'll take Jack Daniels the barrel proof rye or barrel proof bourbons over the 10 and 12.
Yeah,
I would take the rye. I don't know about the bourbon.
it depends on the bourbon,
Well,
but
the straight.
it's also not a fair comparison because the 10 is like 97 proof.
Yeah.
I think these are more flavorful. For
They
the
definitely-
That's because
definitely
they're
are.
100. They're not
Yeah.
cut.
They're also more readily available.
Yeah.
They're also a better price.
Yeah.
They
and
are.
and they're readily available, and
And
also
they come with a sweet Mr. T chain if
They-
you get a store pick.
even without the store pick, they give you when it's dumped. That's fun. Having dump dates, like if you're like a Blanton's guy or whatever, you're
Those
trying.
way better to chase
Yeah.
than Blanton's
Yeah.
updates.
So you can
4 or
find-
5 of 24.
Yeah. So
What else we got in that $400 range though?
stepping up a little bit, the Maker's Mark cast strength,
Dude,
right?
That's
Now-
a banger.
It is.
That's a dunk. That's a
I
dunk
was about
bottle.
to say, and it is a dunk bottle.
That's a dunk bottle.
A wheated bourbon,
Yep.
right? So we're trying to provide some variety here, right? You got your rye. Now we're going to a wheated bourbon. This one is at cast strength. This thing's only like $50,
And it's everywhere.
and it is everywhere. And
Yep.
they are so good. They are really, really good.
That's my favorite Kentucky Mule pour. Is Maker's Cast Strength. When I go out to bars and I get a Kentucky Mule, I know I can keep the cost down because I want Maker's Cast Strength.
And look at this bottle. This is sweet.
Yeah.
It's undeniable. Like, look at that.
That's isn't that the only copyrighted bourbon thing
So,
out there?
I doubt it's the only one that's copyrighted.
It's the most famous for sure.
Right. So it's the color, and they've somehow copyrighted the drip. I don't know how you do that.
But they did.
But I mean, look back there though. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah. I mean, we got a couple of them. There's a couple of them back there.
there's a little baby drip hiding in there.
there's
Yep.
the baby drip. I see the baby drip.
Yeah. So, Maker's Cast Strength. Makers, they all have the same mash bill.
Mm-hmm.
This is the standard Makers, just they did not cut it with water. It's great. I mean, people sleep on Makers for
Kyle?
some reason, but it's great.
Give us the fun fact of how they figured out the mash bills.
Okay, so Makers, when they were first starting out, it's expensive. Oh, okay. Well, he's saluting me, I guess. Makers is, and you need to go get that joint looked at.
He's got an extra one. That's cool.
Makers, because obviously bourbon is an investment for the distiller too. If you're like, hey, let me try this at 4 years, this at 4 years, this at 4 years. So Makers baked a bunch of bread with their different mash bills, the different grains that are going in the mash bills. They picked their favorite loaf, and they're like, this is what we're going to make into bourbon. And they just made a ton of it and started aging.
Which is what sparked the number 46, right?
It is. It
Yeah.
was the 46th loaf of bread they made.
Yeah.
And
I love stories like that.
shortly, I would imagine, followed by some sort of insulin shot. Because that is a lot of carbs.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. All right, Robinson, what else?
So we're moving into something that's like in the allocated realm, right?
Not as much anymore, though.
Not as much. Okay, so at 90 proof and 10-year age stated, it is a direct comparison here, but the profiles of these are very different. And when you hand someone a pour of Eagle Rare, it is very different than a Russell's 10 pour.
It is.
What's your-
superior?
What you're moving into here is this is a Buffalo Trace product. It's very sweet. If you are like, I don't know, I'm like on the fence about bourbon and you're trying to introduce someone to bourbon, this is going to put them on it. They're going to love this.
I think that and Weller would be the two that you would literally draw
I
somebody.
mean,
in
if you
on.
really want to ruin someone's life, Eagle Rare.
What were the ones that
Weller
ruined your
107.
life?
Eagle Rare 107 and no, actually it was those two.
Yeah, it was just those.
So this is a great pour. $45 if you find it at MSRP. We're trying not to put allocated things out here. this is moving off the allocated
It's
list.
becoming
here.
easier to find for us.
Well,
in North
Blanton's is
Carolina.
moving off the allocated
Yeah,
list.
so-
Buffalo Trace is moving.
Yeah, but
right?
Blanton's is still not.
So-
moving, so
If you're able to find this,
consistently, at least.
I know it's come up a little bit. We used to be able to get this for like $32. Now it's like $45.
Yeah, but the problem is you drive to South Carolina, lower South Carolina and Georgia, it's on the
everywhere.
sale.
But
It's like it's everywhere.
a 10-year age-stated Buffalo Trace product. This is better than Blanton's.
Agreed.
I really enjoy Eagle Rare. It's a solid product. Buffalo Trace makes good stuff. They hype it up a whole lot, but if you're able to get MSRP, it is really
The
good
thing is,
stuff.
though, I don't think Buffalo Trace hypes it up a lot.
No.
People.
When I say they, I'm talking about just the
Flippers.
Yeah, the flippers.
Secondary
and stuff.
people.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
What else?
Now, bring out
So
my
yeah,
favorite bottle.
yeah. If you don't know about New Riff, we're about to school you on some New Riff. New Riff, they are doing some great things. This is a rye,
For not a lot of money.
right?
Well,
Reminds
this
me a
is
lot of your
us.
mom.
This is yes, she's the best.
Does great things without a lot of money.
Bottled in bond, so 100 proof, at least 4-year age stated. It's probably actually longer than that. They make a lot of stuff that's in that 100 proof range, but man, this one at $40-ish,
for a rye,
yeah,
Dude.
like
this slaps. If we're talking about just because it's sitting beside a Buffalo Trace product,
yeah.
this slaps Sazerac around the room.
Oh, for sure. It
Yeah.
is.
Oh, flat out.
We wanted to have a lower proof
like baby
rye
Saz? Dude,
because-
that would it punches
Yeah.
baby Saz in
because
the mouth.
you know
Like,
this is a high proof. This we're coming in at 100 proof here, but this right here is so good. New Riff, honestly, all their products are great. Like we love New Riff. They're like
So- funny question
let's
about
not
New
say
Riff.
Not all their products are great. They're all good. Because we all had the first Silver Grove.
yeah,
was
Yeah,
good.
it was
Wasn't
good.
great.
It wasn't great.
Yeah.
Now,
I
the
agree.
Silver Grove Rye was good.
Right.
I really liked it.
But here's the thing. Do we know out of the gate if New Riff sourced?
they did not source.
Nope.
So New Riff never pulled from MGP.
They did not.
Never.
As far as
Because
I'm-
if it's a never, that makes me respect them even more.
That's also big. Game.
right, because New Riff is now like roughly in the 10-year-old
right.
range.
Well, they're putting out 8-year
And
products.
now they're
with no
putting out
problem.
8-year.
They're putting out 8-year nationally.
Yes.
Right.
It's not just like, the 8-year bourbon.
Ohio,
rye
Kentucky. Right.
Released at the distillery.
Right.
You had to go there.
Yeah.
The 8-year rye's popping up in South Carolina.
And I don't know if
starting
you-
North Carolina.
I don't know if
It's
you've
delicious.
noticed this, but this is also the same shape as E.H. Taylor. It's the same bottle shape.
It is.
It
so
is.
It's
It's just convenient. Actually,
yeah, but what's your?
It's like
Where's your correlation? What are you
shelf
doing? With
presents.
that? Oh,
It looks great on your shelf.
the fact
This
that
right here,
not
it-
only
it is embossed on there, bottled in bond without chill filtration. That's nice. I like that.
I love that they do have the bottle shape they have. It makes it a bitch to put in the cabinet. But the fact that they all have the black to nothing bottle.
Yeah.
A little ombre action.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, we're obviously a fan of New Riff. We
Hashtag
love
high
New
school.
Riff.
They put out a
Hashtag
great
white bitch.
product. Honestly, the bottle and bond rye is not my favorite that they put out, but
Nope.
this is still a good
Malted
product.
rye is my number one.
The
rye.
problem is the malted rye pushes us outside of 400.
Yeah.
I know.
So what we've got here,
It's all it's
we
for.
now have in the center here a $200 starter set and a $400 starter collection.
But I do think this is a good start.
It is a
Right.
great start
Because not only does it give you core distilleries, right? But it also gives you some originally craft distilleries,
yes,
right?
and what you get is you got some finished bourbons, and what you have is
You got a couple single barrels, you got a
your
couple
more
bottled and
experienced,
bonds,
your more
you got a
experienced
couple.
friend comes over, and you want to offer him something a little higher proof. You've got the 1920.
You got a store pick.
You got the
You
store
got
pick.
like-
Gas strength.
You got the cast strength. You're gonna be
I like
able
this.
to
This
give
will.
Jay. Come on, calm
Bro.
down, bro.
Jesus.
Good.
Yeah.
You haven't
Easy,
had that many
bro.
drinks.
No.
I think this is a great selection, though.
It is.
I think if somebody just comes out and says, hey, I got $350, $400, I'm going to go out to the store.
These are
I'm going to
all-
have a party, or I'm just going to start building my stuff. I think this is a good starting point.
It
right?
is a great starting point. You can sub some for others.
Right, you
Obviously,
put the 10 cup 10 year in sub of the Eagle Rare or the Russell.
yeah.
Where is that 10
instead
cup?
of the 1920 Russell's, Wild Turkey Rare Breed
Yep.
is a good substitute there. A little bit cheaper, actually.
What are you doing?
What did I do with that 10 cup?
If you're able to get a Weller 107, I would sub that in here, but obviously
The
that's
problem with Weller 107 is
It's
it's
hard-
still
it's-
real hard to
it's
find.
hard to come
and if
by.
you find that in the store, they've got 12 cases
yeah.
to chase it. So I don't
I don't know
what
what
you're
you're
doing right now.
I was looking for that 10
Go
cup
stand
because
at the other end of the bowl.
it's literally somewhere here, but I don't know what I did with
Clearly
it.
not.
Well, we have a 10 cup 10 year.
Yeah,
Just
it's fine.
trust us.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's got a black top
Yeah.
and a black label.
It has a shot glass on top of it. Anyways, I think that's a good substitution, but I feel like this is a really good starting, like a good
Yeah.
jumping off place, if you will.
For sure.
Right?
And if someone comes over, you're getting into bourbon, you're going to have some for your buddies.
Yeah.
I think that's the point, because we're trying to share. We're not like hoarding it. Like
No.
we're trying to share.
We
Open
love
it.
to share bourbon.
Drink it.
These two, great for like, hey, I'm not a proof hound, whatever. Like, hey,
Why'd you
Great.
look over here when you said that?
great age statement. Hey, you want a daily drinker?
Boom.
Bam. It's hard to beat that one. Uniqueness, you're not going to get
So
past
here's
that.
the
That
thing,
that's
though.
the
I
uniqueness.
think from most people, from a price range, except, so say sub 50 or 50 or under would be daily drinker, assuming you're not like,
Baller.
well, no, assuming you're not like crushing a bottle like functional alcoholic daily
Like
drinking.
Old Crow.
Well, no, like everything here is easy enough to come across.
Yes.
Eagle Rare might take you a couple stores, at least in North Carolina right now. The Jack Daniels is everywhere, but like it's over.
You ain't going to
50.
have to have too many pours of that. You're going to feel that one.
But like everything here is reasonable enough to 9 of the 10 bottles you can walk into almost any store and find.
Yeah.
The new riff maybe not, because they may not be in all 50 states
South
yet.
Carolina.
They are a smaller distillery, and they are getting out there. They're just showing up in some places. So, that one may be a little bit of an outlier.
Yeah.
But there's online stores shipped
Yeah.
all states.
Steelbox sells some nasty picks in New Riff, though.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
You know what? Robinson, you put together this whole fucking thing. Close this out. This was your shit.
That's fair.
And I love this.
What do you want me to say?
Fucking close it. I love this.
Yeah. All right. Well, what I'll say here is I put a lot of effort into thinking about if I was trying to start a collection myself, how would I do it? How would I create something that I would be proud of? And this is what I came up with. I'm sure if you're doing it yourself, you come up with something a little different. But I'm not ashamed of this. I'm happy with what we got here. There's a lot of really good bottles. None of these are bad. They're all really good. They're all for a little different preference. And you've got a whole variety here. I'm happy with this. I hope
love
you
it.
guys are too.
I love it.
Where I'll be drammed.
Like and subscribe.
And-
we have merch in the store. Link is on the channel.
And comment on our video, what's your first 5 that you bought?
We'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.